With an impressive array of movies spanning decades, Disney has made it a habit to include some of their characters in cameo appearances in their movies. It doesn't matter if it's from another universe or not, but this insert becomes a thing among Disney and Pixar films. For today's episode, we'll be listing down the times Disney characters were featured in other Disney films. So without further ado, let's get on with it. First, did you notice a certain sea creature makes an appearance in Aladdin? Sebastian appears in Aladdin when Genie tries to turn Aladdin into a prince, but instead reveals the Alaskan king crab recipe, at which time Sebastian emerges and clamps onto Genie's finger while Under the Sea plays. And he's not the only character to appear in Aladdin, since there's another familiar face in the movie. Another legendary Disney character, Pinocchio, appears in the animated film at one point. When Aladdin vows to use one of his wishes to rescue the genie replies, "Yeah, right," and morphs into the small wooden puppet's head. But that's not all. The Beast from Beauty and the Beast can also be seen in the stack of toys Jasmine's father is building during one scene in the movie. Next, Mrs. Potts and Chip travel all the way to the jungle to make an appearance in Tarzan. Mrs. Potts and her son Chip are most known as the Teapot and Teacup in Beauty and the Beast, but in another Disney picture, the mother-son duo appears far less human. Turk leads the gorillas in a song and dance sequence performing Trash in the Camp and can be seen chiming on a tea set of the same design as the one in Beast Castle, Chip Teacup and all, in one of Tarzan's most famous scenes. Speaking of Beauty and the Beast, Belle makes a cameo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Belle is frequently seen walking around the modest provincial village in France with a book in her hand, so it's not unexpected to see the princess doing the same thing in another classic French film. While Quasimodo is singing about what his life will be like out there in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Belle may be seen in her blue dress holding what appears to be the same book about a beanstalk and an ogre. Moving on to another universe, did you notice Flynn Rider and Rapunzel during Elsa's coronation day? Rapunzel and Flynn Rider live happily ever after at the end of Tangled, with the princess free to travel the realm and abandon her tower. And it looks like Corona isn't the only realm she visited. When Anna is walking through the castle on Elsa's coronation day in Frozen, two of the visitors she passes are none other than Rapunzel and Flynn, leading viewers to wonder if these two royal families share more than just the same animation studio. Since we already mentioned Tangled, Pinocchio makes another appearance in this 3D animated film. Tangled kept its Easter eggs under the radar, and this character's appearance may be difficult to find. Pinocchio can be seen sitting up in the rafters during the musical performance I Have a Dream at the Snuggly Duckling, when Shorty, the intoxicated Cupid figure, flies over everyone at the bar. This was the puppet's fourth appearance in a Disney movie. At sea, we spy Flounder make an appearance in Moana. It's only fitting that Moana features additional Disney characters from Under the Sea in a film about the ocean. During the renowned musical performance You're Welcome, performed by a conceited Maui, a recognizable yellowfish floats by with other sea life during the song's big conclusion. Flounder from The Little Mermaid has yellow scales, blue fins, and a cheerful face. Back in the Age of Heroes, Scar makes a cameo in Hercules. When this villain from The Lion King made a cameo in Hercules, he received what he deserved as one of the Disney's most reviled characters. When Hercules poses for a painter with a lion's pelt on his head and then tosses it at Phil, the pelt is revealed to be Scar's skin, which seems like enough payback for letting his own brother die. Next, did you notice Mickey and the gang Under the Sea and Goofy are members who frequently feature in Disney films, but it's unusual to see all three famous characters appear together in a non-Disney film. At the beginning of The Little Mermaid, as King Triton makes his grand entry, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy can be seen cheering him on. Kermit the Frog from the Muppets is another blink and you'll miss it audience member, while in another universe, a poster of Mulan can be seen in Lilo and Stitch. While Stitch has become an Easter egg in and on himself, more than one sequence in his feature film Lilo and Stitch pays reference to a cherished Disney princess. Nani's bedroom walls are covered in posters, photographs, and trophies, with the movie poster for Mulan from 1998 hanging just above her bed. When Lilo and Stitch pass by a Chinese restaurant called Mulan Wok, the character is mentioned again. Next, Magic Carpet flew all the way to New Orleans to appear in The Princess and the Frog. After all, Aladdin's sentient magic carpet can fly, so it's not impossible that it once visited New Orleans. Because both films were directed by the same person, Aladdin's magic carpet can be seen with dust flying off of it as someone beats it on a balcony in the opening sequence of Princess and the Frog. Can you spot the familiar toys at Finding Nemo? In the dentist room, there's a toy box in one corner, and if you look closely, you could see Buzz Lightyear lying on the floor. But he's not the only Pixar character to make a cameo in this movie. The Pizza Planet truck in Toy Story can also be seen in the movie when Gil is describing their escape route out of the dentist office. And of course, there's also the Mr. Incredible comic the kid is reading while waiting for his turn at the dentist. Then at the ending credits, we also see Mike Wazowski swimming freely, complete with goggles and flippers. We also have a dog's crossover in 101 Dalmatians. A classic Twilight Bark scene occurs shortly after the cats are kidnapped in 101 Dalmatians. At the bottom of the screen, you'll notice two puppies. Lady and Tramp are characters from the Disney film of the same name, but they weren't the only ones at the screening. Jock, the Scottish Terrier from the same film, comes to mind. In 101 Dalmatians, he also appears during the Twilight Bark sequence. The Pizza Planet truck likes to appear in different universes. We already mentioned earlier how this familiar vehicle is seen in Toy Story and Finding Nemo, but there are a couple more films where this iconic vehicle makes an appearance. Let's start with Monsters Inc., where Randall finds himself in a Bug's Life trailer. And what's there to the left of the caravan? The Toy Story Pizza Planet truck. This familiar vehicle has a deteriorated appearance in WALL-E, but it's still obvious that it's the same Pizza Planet truck. The next time we see this vehicle is during the Monsters University frat party scene, where it is parked on the left-handed side of the frame. Finally, it may also be found on the witch's table in Brave, once again, hiding in plain sight. We also see a lot of familiar elements in Ratatouille. Do you remember the scene where Remy sneaks into the house, then suddenly a shadow of a dog pops up on the wall? That same shadow is none other than Doug from the Pixar film Up. Bon Voyage, the villain from The Incredibles, can be seen doing some street art for passerbys in another scene from Ratatouille. The famed Gaston's restaurant in Cars 2, on the other hand, is a homage to the same eatery in Ratatouille. Flick and Heimlich from A Bug's Life makes a cameo at the bloopers of Toy Story. This cameo can only be found in the end credits of Toy Story 2. Flick and Heimlich are seen standing on a limb, discussing their excitement about filming A Bug's Life 2, just as Buzz Lightyear appears and whacks away the branch they're standing on. It's a cute throwback to Pixar's earlier film, but it raises the question, if Flick and Heimlich are aware that they're paid performers in A Bug's Life, does that mean Woody, Buzz, and the rest of the toys are as well? This blooper film certainly suggests so, and it gives the famed Pixar theory a whole new dimension. Lotso Huggenbear also pops up in Up. Lotso was cuter and calmer at a child's bedside in Up before he tormented Andy's toys at the daycare, and subsequently attempted to immolate them all in an incinerator. Lotso rests on the floor across from a Luxo ball, as the small girl watches Carl's balloons soar by her window. Finally, Duke Kaboom is seen as one of Baby Jack's toys in Incredibles 2. Duke Kaboom made his incredible subtle Pixar movie debut in Incredibles 2, before crash landing from rooftop to rooftop in Toy Story 4. Keep an eye out for Canada's finest stuntman amid the building pieces in Jack Jack's playpen the next time you're watching The Incredibles. Mrs. Parr may have donated Duke to Second Chance Antiques because he was a 1970s toy and The Incredibles movies were released in the same decade. And that wraps up today's video about the times Disney characters were featured in other Disney films. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching!